understand what love is really about. You young punks go to the movies a couple of times, do a little necking, and you think you're in love. I've never seen anything like it. Nothing like the slush they give you in the movies.
Something great and fail than try to accomplish nothing and fully succeed.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Behind the Helm. If you want to check out this show live, make sure you go to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch every Thursday at 4 p.m. If you want to watch the show afterwards, you can go to YouTube. We'll have our regular show plus bonus content. If you want to listen to the show in your car, maybe in the shower, maybe while you're just chilling doing a workout, head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you could find a podcast, and search up Behind the Helm. Enjoy the show. Episode 60 of Behind the Helm. Welcome in if this is your first time here. It's great to see you. Finally, took you 60 episodes to get here. That's 60 weeks. 60 weeks took you this long, but you're here. And when you're here, you're family. So, and if this is your 60th time here, make sure you let everyone know that you're a real one. And we ride with you, homie. And,
Let's ride.
yeah.
We've been listening to it too much.
Yeah, Behind the Helm country.
Let's ride.
Let's ride. I'm gonna pass it on to the co-host.
And you're here with Chief Dowden, and we have a very special guest today, the freshly newly minted, commissioned Ensign Andrew Dunnuck. How are you?
I am great. It's great to be here. Long-time fan of the show.
I think you're supposed to say a long-time listener, first-time caller. So we're going to talk about some OCS stuff. We're going to talk about your journey and what that was, and I think it's going to be super cool to get into that. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe, you follow. Find it, like it, share it, follow on whatever platform, whether you're on Facebook right now, whether you're on YouTube, you're on Twitch. If you're watching it later, that's okay. You can still comment down below. We'd love to answer your questions. It's going to be an interesting subject that we're going over today because we've talked about enlistment. Now we're going to the officer side. And we've talked about it a little bit with a couple of our guests, but this is another different type of path that you can take. So, again, you're here with Chief Dowden, and behind the controls, we still have Petty Officer Levesque. He's still with us for a little bit.
Not for long.
But we'll see how that pans out. We're in the works of continuing to make sure that the podcast is going to keep going, and see how that works out. So, Mr. Dunnuck, right? So originally from Indiana, you went to high school where?
I went to Delta High School in Muncie.
Delta High School out of Muncie, right? And then
This is prior to the University of Delta High School, right?
Prior,
Okay.
yeah.
prior to it was
I was
just
there in the beginning.
in the beginning times, and then you carried on. Did you attended Ball State?
I went to IUPUI in Indianapolis.
IUPUI Indianapolis. That's right. I thought for some reason you had went to Ball State. You went to IUPUI in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I think that's Moreau.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Wonder how he's
can
doing.
he take off the disrespectful hat? I agree. That's coming from Twitch, right?
No,
I agree.
Never.
the hat's
But,
staying on.
Big fan.
If this mustache is going to stay on, then that hat's staying on. That's what I think.
When did I grow up? I haven't. I'll be honest, Brian. I am still just a man child. What's
Brian?
What's your designator? You're being asked.
I am a surface warfare officer.
Oh yeah, he is a SWO. John CW. He was actually a SWO on the Cole with me. He was my combat systems officer for a while. Right. So wealth of information.
Yo, adult. Hold on. Someone said what mustache? Now I gotta. All right, let's get a little bit closer.
That's not a mustache. He ate some Oreos before the show. Right. So, all right. So you went to IUPUI and you majored in?
I was a public safety management major.
Yeah. Public safety management major. How does that translate?
Almost not at all.
Right. So you came to us, you decided, hey, you know what? I'm thinking about the military. I'm going to join. I'm going to enlist. Right? And you did something that we call dual processing, where you're like, you know what? I want the Navy. Right. I'm going to enlist. And then, but I'm also going to apply for an officer route because you had your bachelor's degree.
Right.
So you were working with us, but also working with an officer recruiter, and you had a ship date to go to Navy boot camp. And we got that kind of pushed back, and you got selected for surface warfare officer, right? So it kind of changed your path. And in fact, you still kind of kept working with us a little bit with that, just because you were close with our debt pool and working with the guys in there and helping out.
Right.
And then it's a little different when you go to OCS. You don't. It's not like going to boot camp where you go down to MEPS and you get on a plane, you do all this stuff. Kind of tell me about that. Like, how did you get to that point?
Yeah, because I'll interject a little bit, because I know originally, let's focus this, because I know I had to focus on the mustache for a little bit. I know originally it was enlisted for you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We had mentioned the idea of you doing dual process and going officer, and I think your dad was the kind of driving force for you to go officer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And what was the main reason on why you wanted to do the dual process rather than just go enlisted?
The dual process was a choice for me because I wanted to enlist first. I wanted to be in the Navy because there's a lot of history with my family in the Navy. And
you're like kind of a legacy, what we tend to call somebody who's a legacy. You had Navy, we'll get that in a minute.
Yeah.
You had Navy in the family.
Yeah, my great-grandfather was a boatswain's mate in World War II. He served on the relief hospital ship.
Oh,
so we're no stranger to the Navy in my family. And I wanted to try for officer, but I guess I was kind of discouraged at first because I didn't think I was super competitive for it.
Right, and it is. It's a very, I think people don't realize like that it's a very competitive thing.
I was, especially when I got there. I found out how competitive it was to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just wanted something like in my back pocket.
Right.
At first I wasn't really like concerned. Like I just wanted to be in the Navy. But when I got picked up for officer, it was a huge deal for me when I found out.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I remember when I found out, like getting to talk to you. I know you were very excited about it, and it's, because there are other. We talked about a few of them, right? This is one path, but you can do the Seaman to Admiral program. Like once you're in, like just because you don't get picked up, you can still go in, and there's still opportunities for you, right? So you're going down one path. And before we go any farther, again, please make sure to find it, like it, share it, follow it. We're going to pause real quick for a little bit of news. If you haven't heard, sorry to be the first one to break it to you.
Don't be disrespectful.
Dude, I'm not. Okay. I'm absolutely not. Right?
Okay, please, God, don't make it
Queen Elizabeth II did pass away today. I believe we were talking about it. I didn't look up the facts on this, but I'm pretty sure longest reigning monarch, is somebody who has been there for a long time, and it's a long-standing ally of the United States. So, condolences to the royal family, and to all of our viewers that we don't have over in the UK. I know that's it's heartbreaking. A lot of people really, really liked Queen Elizabeth. So again, condolences, and Queen Elizabeth did pass away. So if you haven't heard that, there is that. Also, to anybody out there who was in Anderson High School today, hopefully you're doing well. And I was going to say the name, but I don't think I should. There was a student that had an incident at school and had to leave, a medical incident. So our thoughts and prayers go out to that family as well, and to any students that were affected by that. So please know that there are people there you can talk to, and so just a little bad news, but we can circle that around with a little bit of good news, right? So before we carry on to OCS, we have our Eagle. We always do an homage to the Eagle, and you brought something for us that you just dropped under the desk, so this is going to get awkward. Oh, I can move the Eagle a little bit, right?
No, okay, yeah, move the Eagle.
There we go.
Okay,
all right, so let's see this. So you brought, explain what this is.
That was the first challenge coin that I ever acquired. I got 2 of them because I knew I wanted to have a spare, but the first time we were able to go to the necks, which is a big deal for us because we finally got to feel like humans again. But I always wanted something to remember where I started.
Yeah.
And when I saw that one, and I was like, Naval Station Newport, that's basically like the first step in my naval career, and I wanted to remember it. So my plan was to get one of those for every duty station I go to kind of like mark out the map of where I've been.
Sure. So Naval Station Newport, service since 1883 with ship on it. And then in the back right here, man, Petty Officer Levesque, you were talking about this earlier because Newport is where?
Rhode Island.
In Rhode Island. And boy, they make Rhode Island look real big, right? And it is very small, but Newport, I've been there. We got to pull in there, actually. Near there, got to go there. It's beautiful. It's really nice, right? So that's where your journey started. And luckily, you have an extra one of these. I know you didn't buy it for that reason, but it's super cool. You're giving it to us. And when we get back into our more studio setting where we have our coin rack, it's definitely going to go there, and it'll be with the show for a long time. So we really appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much.
Go to Nantucket.
No.
Nantucket.
I think we passed by it though.
Yeah.
I'm going to
See
set
El
that down
Prez
here.
over there.
So most definitely, like, it's super cool. And yeah, like, you know, it is kind of, it's different now, right? I know, obviously, like, we've messed with you because we watched you through this journey, right? So
Right.
calling you sir. Andrew Dietz is out there. He just graduated very recently from boot camp. You were in with
Congratulations.
him. Congratulations to you, Dietz. And he
Congrats,
said
Dietz.
congratulations to you. And
Sir.
I may or may not have called attention on deck when you walked in today. You know, I don't know.
Which is wrong, which is wrong.
Which is very wrong, but we're having fun, just a little laugh. So, you know, it was an interesting journey. And I think the thing about it is that OCS, like, you know, I don't know a lot about OCS. It's not anything that I've done, so it's a little different. So once you got this call and you had to get to OCS, how did you get there? Like, you didn't go down to MEPS beforehand. Right.
It would have been an option, but we've already taken care of that with the dual process.
Right.
So all it was really left was to get my date, and you know, they handed me a plane ticket and said, "Off you
Get there.
go."
Yeah. Get there. So, you know, and what we're going to do, like, we pulled up a few different videos about
You guys can keep talking. I'll
yeah,
keep
yeah,
pulling it up.
about Navy OCS. And I think what we're going to do today is we're going to watch a couple of these videos. One, because I don't think that myself and Petty Officer Levesque have really looked at them. And I know we've kind of looked at a few of them. You said that's a little older. We don't necessarily do that. But just to kind of get your viewpoint without giving, you know, anything that you're not supposed to or don't talk about, or that's fine. But we're just going to kind of talk about it in that process and how it's a little different, okay? And while we're getting those pulled up, again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell. Find it, like it, share it, follow it. And definitely share this, because the information may not be for you, but this might help somebody else, right? And that's our purpose here. So.
And you know, I want to ask, like, what was the process like? Because we've talked about the enlisted process,
A lot.
going to MEPS, picking your job, delayed entry program. What did you have to do that was different to apply for commissioning?
And now I will say, dual processing, you have to go through a medical physical, but since you already had one, it took care of that. But as far as the rest of the process to kind of get selected, like what was different, or what did you have to do for that?
There was a lot of paperwork involved, especially before. No, believe it or not. But
Not
we
in
had to put
recruiting.
together letters of recommendation were a big one. I had to go and find a few people. Like, a lot of them were my college professors that I had to write, and a few of them were former military, so it helped out a bit. But a big one was our motivational statements, which is basically we wrote a whole page of like why you should select us over another candidate. And I'd say those were big deals for me because, like I said, I didn't feel like I was very competitive with my GPA and my major. So having a chance to really explain myself and put my best foot forward was huge. And especially, too, another big thing was the OAR test. I know,
Which is not like that. So kind of like we have to take an ASVAB.
Yeah.
OAR is an officer test. I know it's an acronym, and I can't remember the acronym, and I should, because I'm studying
The
for
officer assessment.
something or other. I can't remember
Am I
off
close?
the top
Do you
of
know
my
what it stands
head.
for?
I don't remember what it
Okay.
stands for.
But-
Well, describe the test and
Yeah,
what's
what's that
different
test
than
kind of
the
about?
ASVAB.
I know the ASVAB because I've taken both.
Yeah.
But in the ASVAB, I felt like it was a lot more like grounded high school stuff. I could really help out with that, but the OAR was all like college level stuff, and it was particularly difficult for me because I haven't done college level math since
College.
college.
Yeah, yeah.
It was my freshman year of college.
Yeah, because your freshman, even sometimes some people into their sophomore years when they do all those general education stuff, it's not until like you just don't do it at all once you hit junior and senior year. It's all towards the major.
Right.
the OAR was broken down into 3 parts. There was math, there was English, there was mechanics, and the English was easy for me because I was not so much studied in English, but I knew a lot about it.
Yeah.
But the mechanics and the math, some of it got to a level where I wasn't even sure, like I'd even learned this before.
Not even like what I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a tough test. It was probably one of the toughest tests I've taken, and I can see why. Like you want your...
They were asking about like continuum transfunctioners, the flux capacitor. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know
It
what
got
this
off
is.
the rails quick.
Yeah.
But I took the test and did well enough to apply, and I think that's mostly where the similarities, like, that's where it changed up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Everything else was kind of standard to what like an enlistment process would be like. I was kind of
Yeah.
shocked about
Right.
how similar it was.
How long did you have to wait until you knew you were selected?
It was about a month, I'd
I was
say.
gonna say it was a while. Like we were trying to get, because you had to get some other stuff together too, right?
Right.
As far as like from the call, like you're saying, and getting all these things together. And then I think at the time when we were waiting for your selection to kind of see, we got this date, and then it kind of got pushed and there was, normally it would have happened a little faster, but like there was at the time, I don't remember exactly why they were pushing back when we were going to find out before we actually did.
Yeah.
So it was cool to get that call.
Someone said, I've been speaking English for years. That's why it was easy.
My number one qualification.
I don't
So yes,
know.
yes, when did you pick a ship? You already picked a ship. So
Yep.
where are
you
you
did
going?
that while you were there, right? Yeah. So what is your next? You know, you did OCS, and we're going to go over OCS in the videos, but through OCS, you kind of get a pick at the end, right?
Yeah. OCS basically had all of us SWOs kind of compete for it. You know, they gave us
Surface warfare officers.
they gave us a list, and I think some classes they let them hash it out like adults, and that never works. So they do it by class merit.
Right.
And the first ones to go are always the foreign ports. Rota, Spain was the first.
Sure.
Pearl Harbor. Everybody wanted those.
Road to
Oh,
Spain,
yeah.
was it the Roosevelt, DDG?
I don't remember
whatever.
which one. I think only SWO nukes could get the ones in Rota.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so we went by class merit. So whoever was the top academics, inspections, PT scores, they got their first crack at it. And I was about in the mid tier. I'm not unashamed to admit it, but
It's all right.
I got down there.
That's where I'm
Still
at,
commissioned,
yeah.
right?
That's right.
Hey, you know what they call the guy who graduates bottom of his class at med school?
It's a doctor.
Doctor. It doesn't like it doesn't say their GPA on their doctor. So like, you know, still a doctor, man. Still a commissioned officer.
So I was going down the list. I knew I wanted a DDG as my first ship, and a lot of the
Yeah.
ones I was hopefully trying to get Virginia, but then all those started going. But then I saw the last real DDG available was the USS Gridley coming out of Everett, Washington,
That's awesome.
and then I saw that, and I was like, "That's the one." Ensign Dunnuck has selected the USS Gridley.
Which we were talking, me and you, like when we talked to you when you first came back. You know, if you're an outdoorsy type person, like everybody I've talked to who's ever been up in Everett, Washington, like they really enjoy it. They say it's a really cool place to get some outdoor experience. I personally have not been there, right? But I would say that that's a good home port. And the fact that you want to be in a DDG, that's pretty cool. So that's what you're going to do. So I think we're going to pull up a couple pictures of the area and your ship to show here in just a second. See if we can see this here.
I think I hit 4. Sure. Yeah. So here it is. Here she is in all her glory. DDG 101.
101.
This is a great picture. Very detailed.
Yeah, that's like a high res. Can we still be heard? We can, right?
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Look at that,
it's you know, that is a real high resolution picture. But my old SWO here had said he did tell you you may fire when ready. Congrats on Gridley. It's a good place to be. So that's cool. He's been around for a while. And so take that as it is. And then this picture that we're looking at here is
This is Everett. So this is one of the lakes over there.
That's pretty.
That in the back, you can see some mountains up here.
Mm-hmm.
This just reminds me of, like,
The Northeast.
Yeah,
a little bit.
It looks like New Hampshire,
But it's the
That's what it looks-
Northwest.
or Vermont.
This is
So,
the Northwest, not the Northeast.
yeah.
Right.
So, pretty cool.
I mean, you're fairly close to Seattle, I think, when you're up there. So, you have that as well. So that's cool. So again, make sure you smash that like button, find it, like it, share it, follow it. All right. Get those notifications, share this feed so somebody sees it. If you're watching this after the fact, you can still comment down below if you have questions. And we'll definitely make sure to get those answered for you. But I think it's time we roll into a little OCS video. How you feel about doing a little video review?
Absolutely. Let's get into
Let's
it.
check this out. Uh-oh.
That's familiar.
Oh, that's how we're starting, huh?
Well, it's just because I had
I know.
4 to go to the thing. Mics will be on, just letting you know.
Oh, no, good. So we can still talk during this, right? Oh, motivate me.
This is definitely in doc phase, which is what they call the first 3 weeks. of
Right
the
when you
training.
first get there? Okay.
Basically, this is how they introduce you to your class team. And what's really different,
What's up with the hand thing?
Yeah.
What
that's
is
all-
that?
They
I
want-
noticed that earlier when we were watching. Like, they I mean, I guess like when we
I
would
remember
set,
having to do that.
we had to like, I don't keep your hands yourself, but like it's very, what's up with that?
they always made us sit like that. You always had to have your hands out like that in knife hands. And if you didn't do it, they let you know.
Really?
No matter how. So if you're sitting at the chow hall, if you were just like sitting at like a
Like,
What?
For real? Like at the chow hall? Like even your hands then? Like, for real?
When you were done eating, you would put your hands up and you look straight ahead right into the person like across from you. And you better not look around or you're going to get
Set at attention. But I mean, with the hands though,
Wow.
like,
We didn't have to do that.
a lot
You
of
just had to sit there and just be quiet.
a lot of the DIs were super big on it. Like if your hands were not like
drill
that,
instructor.
They're practicing.
They're prepping you.
that was another difference a lot from what the priors like. Yeah, the Marine Corps drill instructors were a surprise to be sure. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? So when you go to Navy boot camp, it's all Navy. Both Marine, like you have both Marine and Navy drill instructors, and they're not officers.
nope,
Right?
senior enlisted.
Senior enlisted personnel who are teaching officers. Like that's another part of our history, but it's also Marines because as a naval officer, you could be working with Marines as well,
Right.
right? So that's another thing that's kind of a little different.
The Marines have their own
Yeah, their own
like
OCS.
training that they do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Are Navy involved with them, or are they all Marines?
I'm not sure. I'd have
I'd have to look too. I don't
I'd have
know.
to research that.
Okay. Keep going.
Change or compromise. Here at OCS, I'm candidate
That
officer
looked
phase. I'm
like the
what's
echo
called the
chambers, what we called it.
regimental commander.
We used to do drill in there. This is a
First
fast
6
cruise.
days,
What it looks
you
like
have
it
people in
is
my
when they all
position.
Are they
came.
waking you up? Is this waking you up?
Trying to
Yeah, they're
prepare
waking
you
us
for our
up,
first Friday,
and
I think
that
it
was
hits
our
a whole
second
new level
event.
when
Second week is when
you get
fast
pushed
cruise
out
would
by your-
happen.
Really?
Well, so what were you thinking at this point?
I feel like I made a huge mistake. I remember because they told us we were kind of gossiping about it because people like to talk. But I remember like we didn't have watches, nothing to keep time, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
said. I remember the day before they're like, "Don't worry about getting up. We're gonna come wake you up tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh no."
Now I think that there is a similarity there with boot camp because normally about in that first week, it might be a little earlier, but in that like kind of first week, you're like, oh no, you have what we call the oh moment. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and then you realize that like you're just getting over this hurdle that like these things are happening for a reason. And yeah, I think it was really weird, especially as an adult. Because I didn't join till I was older. I was so used to getting myself up, doing, putting myself to bed, like doing these things. And that was weird to not have time, like outside of like, your phone or whatever, but just even a watch, like not knowing what time it was. Don't worry. We'll let you know what time it is.
Yeah.
You're going to know what you need to do when you need to do it. But that was probably one of the tougher things, I think.
It
is
was
not having that.
super difficult. Like didn't know what time it was.
Now I do want to know. I think here's the other big difference. We've showed boot camp videos. You're in a big, open room, bunk beds, and they're banging on doors, right? So
Right.
you have your own like room.
Yeah. So the way they did it in Nimitz Hall, at least, which is where this is taking place,
Okay.
is it's a dorm setting. You have like it looks pretty similar
two?
to like a college dorm room.
Okay.
So you have 2 racks and you have a roommate, but your shower and your head are all there. It's not communal, but you only share it with your suite mates. So it's 2 rooms but they're all like closed off.
Sweet.
It was a suite.
You're sweet.
Your suite mates is what we called them.
Oh my gosh.
We had the old what did we call it?
The car wash.
The car wash. Yeah.
Usually go through. Yeah. So unlike
Some people like to spend a lot of time in there, and those people are weird.
Yeah.
All right,
So like
goodbye.
a lot of college dorms, it's communal shower rooms. So this is more. It's like a dorm, but just two of you are sharing a head.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you had your own head, and the showers were you had your own shower for two people, but then
Right.
yeah, 2 showers in a room. You and your suite mates had your own showers.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
whoops.
Wow.
Yeah, I made
Lovely.
I made a huge
So
mistake.
like when you shut the door, no one's bothering you anymore. So it's
through
nighttime. You shut the door,
Yeah,
and you and your
sweet mate.
sweet mate
Sweet
could just
mates.
like talk and.
Yeah, as soon as 9 o'clock hit, you can shut your door, and you are not to be disturbed for 7 hours. They guarantee you 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Sometimes that changed depending on the evolution that was
Well,
coming up.
sure, and I mean they always told us that in boot camp, right? Too, like they're gonna give you a chunk of 8 hours to sleep. Now, whether you sleep or not.
Well, so for us, they used to have someone stand by the door that you had to watch, that you had to stand. Did you have to do that?
We didn't stand watches until about the 4th week. And the watches we stand would be roving watches where we'd walk around.
Seems like an officer to me.
We walk around the base at night, making sure all the
Oh,
doors.
walk around the whole base?
Yeah, all through training country and making sure the doors are shut.
Wow.
At other watches, we would stand officer of the deck watch, which just be we're at the front of Nimitz Hall, logging everything that comes and goes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we had that,
It's
yeah.
kind of the same thing. So, all right. Well, let's keep the video. Rolling. Let's see what else we got here.
Drill instructors and your chiefs, and you actually get put on your face for the first time.
This event was particularly harrowing.
Everything here catches people.
They
off
brought
guard.
every
Somebody
RDC,
in
every
that'll
drill
say,
instructor.
I thought
They
this place was
came.
gonna be a cakewalk.
They came looking for us.
There's this
It
perception
was horrible.
Of,
Really?
everything's easy for officers. And
They had me.
there's definitely things here
They had
that
to scream
do
the mission of the
that's a lot more
Navy while
rough
we
than enlisted.
exercised.
The fire trainer I thought was amazing. It reminded me of Great Lakes a lot. It was excellent training because I never
So that's
personally
obviously a
served
prior
on ship.
service there. You
Yeah.
could tell because
Showed me
he's
a lot
saying
of
Great
things
Lakes.
I
That's where
needed
we
to
went to
know.
boot camp.
Hopefully,
Now, you guys
emergency
went, like, we
happens, I
were
can
talking about
respond
this.
when
Your
needed.
fire trainer, you guys went a little bit more in depth. Like ours, like,
Well,
yes,
most
we
of our
don
event that we've
our
done here is
coveralls.
capstone,
We have a
which
face
is
mask
the
on, but
event
we weren't donning
right
the
after
full
8th week, after
firefighting
you just
gear
completed your
like
hardest
that. And
week
we're
of
not donning an
mixture of
SCBA,
inspections and
like the
school
actual, you
class,
guys were
tests,
actually in
quizzes, all that.
SCBAs.
Yeah,
Once
we
you
put
complete all
the
those
whole
phases,
kit on
you
and
go
went and fought
capstone.
fires. It was amazing.
That looked a lot like when I went to advanced firefighter training. That's what that looked like.
Yeah. Like once you're out in the fleet, you go to an advanced fire training, which is a facility all on its own. It kind of looked like that. Yeah.
Which is crazy because a lot of the locker leaders, like when you're on the ship, they're officers, and I guess it's for
That makes
That
sense.
looks like they got some legit,
Yeah.
like great firefighter training.
Right.
All right, here's capstone.
Now you said
It's
that
the
they
sign
don't
that
do when
you
you went
made it
through
to
this.
the king
This
officer
doesn't
phase.
exist anymore.
No,
Correct?
Completed all
there
the
is no
roll
obstacle
events, which is a
course
big
at
relief for a
OCS
lot of
anymore.
people, even though you still have a very hard job at hand.
So
Coming up in
it
the next
seems
4
like
weeks after that,
what they're
it's a
talking
bit of a
about, like
stress
this would
for
be
you to
their
know
battle
that you have
stations.
made it
It'd be
this
part of their
far,
battle
and
stations.
You have pushed with your team and you succeeded.
Well,
as
and
a-
you can
as a
see
class,
that they're still in the blue digi cami, which
Yeah.
we don't have anymore. It's the green, which it looks like they were transitioning there because that one was navy. That was not.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how necessarily old that video was, but it was all right. Are we just doing that one?
Yeah.
Or did
just
you
the
have one other?
No.
So, total, what would you say is your, like, how long is OCS?
OCS is 13 weeks.
13.
But I had to do it for 16 because
Yeah.
I was rolled due to an injury that I should not have gotten off medical for.
But it happens, right? So
Yeah.
the thing is like we tell people when they go to boot camp, same thing, right? You got injured, you got rolled back, put back in, so that you can't complete. You don't get injured and we just like kick you out.
Right.
Right. But you have to make sure that you get that training. So it took you a little bit longer, but you were still able to. And I think we have a graduation picture here that we're going to throw up for you. Oh, whoa. Look at that guy
Yep.
In his glory.
in
So
all of his glory.
Who's this fella?
That is currently Ensign Dunn. He was one of my Dunn. So it was Dunn and then Dunnuck.
Wow.
That was the joke that went around. So he was in my original class.
If only there was another Dunn, like Dunn.
This
Dunn.
person must have only been like probably an E5 or E6. Just
Yeah,
looking
do you
at
know?
looking at
He
this
was a
ribbon
second
rack.
class.
E5. Okay.
I was just looking
He
at
was a DC.
Looks like my ribbon rack.
Oh, he was a DC E5, and then he was doing the Seaman to Admiral program. Is that, or no, not for OCS, because he would already had his degree.
Yeah. So how did he?
Or do you know?
Yeah. Sorry, Dunn, if I butchered the details, but
That's okay.
I remember he got out of the Navy, and then he had a job.
Oh.
He had a job, and for a while he was like, I miss the Navy. So he jumped back in. And
Did he
got
already
back in
have his degree, or did he get out, use his GI Bill, get his degree, and then come back in as an officer?
I believe he got out and got his degree, and then he jumped back in.
Oh, hey, there you go. That's the way to do it.
So attaboy, Dunn.
Yeah.
Here's a little bit more.
That was all of us. So this was an interesting picture because this was all of our roles. So if whoever rolled from their original class, that was all of us. So all of us here we failed in evolution and we got put back 3 weeks. So when we were all in H company together, that's how we all were really close.
This is awkward. I'm not going to say which one, but just because we can see it, I don't want to point it out and be mean, but like a little awkward.
Sorry, King.
Yeah.
But
anyway, no, that's cool.
Yeah, we all hung out 3 extra weeks together. So I think that bond that brought us all a little closer. It was a bit weird going back up to a new class where you didn't know everyone.
Right.
But all of us went up together, and happy to say this was some of my best friends are right there.
Yeah. What else we got?
It was a full class photo. We were
Okay.
Alpha and Bravo, class 1-5 Tech 2-2. I was in Bravo Company. I would say Bravo Company was the best out of between us, but that's just,
No, wait, yeah, you're not biased or anything. Right.
our march to graduation.
I love that you're marching to graduation, and this drill instructor's this is such a good picture because this drill instructor's like, can I get him one more time?
I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's what he was thinking.
he looks like it. He looks like he's ready to go. So, I mean, that's awesome. Like, so, I know the video was kind of short, and for saying it's 13 weeks long and like not really showing.
Yeah, they don't have
ton.
a good enough video out
We
there.
looked at a few, and
Right.
there just wasn't one that. But you said when you were there, they were actually working on. Now, I don't know when it's going to come out or if it's even a thing, but it looked like they were working on filming like a new thing for OCS anyway.
It was in my 10th week. I noticed them. They were going around. A camera crew was going around base, and they were filming all the junior classes below us doing their activities. And I was like, man, kind of wish I was one of those junior classes, because I wanted to be part of the new faces of OCS.
Right.
But-
So, I mean, what else would you want to put out about OCS, or like, maybe an experience that you had that you weren't. What was the one thing, and here's a good one. What was the one thing that you were surprised about, like pleasantly surprised, like, oh, like this is kind of cool that I get to do this?
The one thing I was pleasantly surprised about was rifle drill.
Oh, yeah.
Second week, we were issued decommissioned M16 rifles. And I was like, what would a naval officer need to do with a rifle? But this is all.
Okay. Hey, don't worry. I got it, sir. Don't worry. You don't need that.
Yeah.
This is all the
I had
Marine
to
drill
I had to
instructors.
qualify you guys. And trust me. You can ask Mr. Williams, because I was a small arms shift instructor, and we had officers that would come in and be loading ammo into magazines backwards. Sir, what are you doing? I got it. Okay. All right, sir. You go right ahead. Anyway, so what did you guys do for like the drill, like the M16s? Like, you talking like just carrying them, or like were you guys like doing like drill movements, stuff like that?
We had a whole evolution in our 5th week.
Like,
which
this is my rifle, this is my gun.
sort of.
This one's for fighting, this one's for fun.
We did all of the major like rifle manual movements, left shoulder arms, port
That's
arms.
fun.
We like marched with them. And I thought, like, at first I was like, this is pointless. Like, we're not going to be doing this. But then I was like, I remember, like, I told my dad about it. I wrote it because he was a Marine.
Right.
So he was just like, this is exciting. Like,
Yeah.
and we were all starting to like do it. And I remember the last day before our drill competition, we walked in and the gunnery sergeant put on his speaker. Now we're doing drill movements to like rock songs. And I was like, this is probably like the single greatest moment I've had here so far.
Fun, right?
While we were all like doing our movements all in sync, and just to watch it from the beginning where like people are dropping their rifles and like nobody knows what they're doing to suddenly we're all moving as one efficient unit, I thought was amazing.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, even now we won't do that in boot camp, but like when it's nice out and you can go out and like march, we've shown a few things of that, like where you can do like the cool different marching things, like, you know, which, you know, when you're learning it's like pointless. Like to march together is one thing, to be able to turn this, but like to do like a you know, like a straight like flank and all like when you see it and it's done right, like, man, like that was cool. And like when you get to be part of it, it's like, man, that was really neat to do. So yeah, I like the rifle stuff. I bet that was really cool. Now, what about the other side? What was the one thing if you had to go back and look at it, you were like, I am so glad I never have to do that again, and you were not even remotely close to ready for?
Oh man, where do I start with this? I have a long list, but I think definitely was chow hall procedures. We had a whole like song and dance, and it would take us, especially in the beginning, it would maybe take us half an hour to get like sat down and to eat. Eventually, when you get to the last phase, you stop doing that. You just go and get your food and sit down like a normal human would. But now, like, I'm just like, wow, I remember we're all lined up. We have to like run in circles around with our hands above our head.
What?
Yeah, so outside they would make us a standby to sanitize. And when they call that, everybody puts their hands up and they're running in place, and just each column would go into this one singular hand sanitizer dispenser, hit it and run back into their spot, and then the next column goes. And eventually, like, you finally finish and you're going through your whole routine.
I really think that's senior enlisted having a little fun is what that sounds like to me.
But
I mean, it's a routine that everybody does, but I think that's literally to keep the senior enlisted sane. And we have some comments down here. Obviously, like the rifle drill thing. I was making a Full Metal Jacket reference. So which one's for fun? I don't get it. I'm not saying it. Watch the movie.
Is that Lick?
I'm pretty sure it's. I think it's Sergeant First Class.
Lick tight.
He's really excited. He wants to try to do like a podcast thing at his next station, and we had him on last week with us, and I think it just like it's really amped him up. Like he's it's cool. Like it's fun to do. It's just having a conversation. So definitely some fun with it.
All right, so the hand sanitize thing. What else?
That one was pretty bad, but the worst part is once everybody's inside, and we've probably just got done getting yelled at by every DI and RDC at Naval Station Newport. We're finally, the way you're supposed to do it is you get in line, you get your silverware, all your food, and you have to get back to your table as fast as possible. Some people didn't get that. So I follow.
It's lounge time.
I follow the rules. I'm usually the first or the second one back to the table, and you cannot sit down until everybody is back.
Oh my gosh.
So now
we did that.
Yeah.
People you had to stand by the.
Yeah, we're standing, and people are like toasting their bagels, and like when you're standing there, you have to take your little.
Just eat it. Like, let's go. We have things to do. Like.
So what they make us do is we have these little pocket books, and they're full of like all the information you want to know for your next test, like the ranks and recognition and the watchstanding principles. You take that, you hold it out just like that, arm fully extended, and the only reprieve you get is when you have to flip the page and then right back out. And if you're slow, they let you know.
Oh yeah, you can't be like.
You can't do that. So
yeah,
I got along with everybody until I started looking around. Like,
there's always a couple
who's still getting their food. Like, there's the last guy over there is finally getting his like bagel toasted. Now he's gonna come back, and now my food's cold, and I'm in a bad mood already.
Oh, when you're the first one.
Oh yeah.
I was never the first one at the table.
No, me
because we went by. It was height line, and I'm kind of like in the middle, so I always got my food like kind of middle of the pack.
Right.
But the kid in the front just standing at his food, waiting for everyone, and you can't watch.
No.
You're
just staring off,
and then they'll go. Hey, we're all present and accounted for. And then we all sit down and start eating, and you can't speak at all.
Which we did. I mean, that's about the only time we really kind of socialized during the day.
Yeah, we actually got to kind of talk
a little
we
bit.
weren't
a little
allowed.
bit.
You were not allowed to.
We weren't
You couldn't
either.
be loud, but you could just.
We weren't either. There was enough noise because all of our RDCs went over. And
you'd be like this. You'd be eating. You'd be like,
yeah, man. Look at this guy over here.
can you believe that guy?
I can't believe.
And then you like look at the RD, like, oh, they're coming.
Oh, they're coming. They're coming. Yeah,
Eventually, we learned how to like.
You learn how to finesse.
Not in the beginning, though.
That's a classic military thing to learn, how to finesse.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, make sure you smash that like button, share this feed, hit the notification, get it. Somebody out there, this could help them. Our condolences do, again, go out to the royal family as Queen Elizabeth II has died. I mean, hey, look, we were partners, back-to-back World War champions with them, so it's rough. That's rough. So, Mr. Dunnuck, sir, we really appreciate you coming on, talking with. We're gonna keep you. You want to hang out?
Sure.
Hang out for a little bit. We're gonna hang out for a little something. Because look, I'm not gonna.
Hold on. I want to be part of the group. Give me a sec. Hold on 1 second.
Oh. Can you? You need to. Yeah, you should have just put your face in the middle of us, like right there. We really appreciate you coming in. It was a joy to have you as as a future sailor, and work with you. And you were somebody that really kind of helped take charge and help other people study even before you got picked up as an officer. I think that, and I've told you this, and I'm going to say it here so that somebody can go back and prove me wrong. Hopefully not. I think that you're going to be a very good officer, and I think that you'll be able to lead efficiently. I really do. So I wish you the best of luck. I know Petty Officer Levesque does, and of course, he has a special place in his heart for you since you're a Boston Red Sox fan.
Hell yeah.
Sox.
Go Sox.
The White
Big
Sox. So, but no, seriously, thank you so much for coming in. And I know you have a lot to do. You're home. You're enjoying. And hey, if you're out there and you know this guy, he's home. He might be ignoring you, but hey, hit him up. You're not here for too much longer, right? You got to get out there.
I'll be heading out next week. That's when I'll be gone.
Well, good luck to you. So we're gonna.
I like that I'm in the middle now. It's definitely fitting to be. I feel like I'm here with you guys. Yeah, you can take a look at me.
Wow, look at that.
But I have to turn the opposite way. Like if I want to talk to Dunnuck, I gotta do this. And
For
if I
you.
want to talk to you, I'll be like, oh yeah. So bonus content starts in 3, 2, 1.
Bonus content. Oh man, who is ready for some football? Football tonight.
Yep.
Right?
Great game.
Great.
By the way, like this is probably
game.
like one of the best opening games that I can remember.
A lot of people were saying last year that this is who was going to be in the Super Bowl.
Should have been the Super Bowl, in my opinion.
There are people now, they're saying this year it is going to be the Super Bowl, and it is the first game of the year. We got the Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
And the defending champions, Los Angeles Rams.
It's going to be
Which
a barn
also
burner,
means,
folks.
what's even more, what did you say?
It's going to be a barn burner, folks.
I think it is. I think it's going to be a really good game. Matthew Stafford is back. He's ready to go. There's not really any injury on either side of the ball. You got Josh Wilson. I mean, it's going to be good. It's going to be a good game. But you were getting ready to say something. You said, which also means
Fantasy football starts
let me put
today.
Hold on. Let me put on my championship ring here. All right. Let's talk some fantasy football. Got my notebook. Let's go. All right. Got my notebook. Let's go.
Okay, I flip myself now, so now if I
there
turn
you
this
go.
way. Okay.
Fantasy football. Let's
What's
go.
in the book? What's in it?
The secrets.
It's the secrets.
There's nothing in that book.
Yes, there is. There stuff in here, sir?
There absolutely is.
Yes, there is.
How many pages? He's got like maybe one page filled out.
1,
What does it say?
2,
This book belongs
3,
to the greatest fantasy football champion there ever was. Me.
Yes,
And it's like
it
a
does.
picture of himself
Taped
in
in there.
Yeah.
All right.
So I thought what we'd do is kind of, I think at this point we're fantasy football experts.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much. You've played. This is like your second legit season of playing fantasy. Like you've done it before, but this is like
the one
pretty
I had
much a
before was
master at this
legit.
point.
Yeah.
The one I had before was legit, but it was so many years ago, and then I didn't play. And then last year, it was like getting back into it, and like so. Quite honestly, I would say that this would be my first like legit year in a while. Because I don't consider last year legit. Like everybody that was playing with us was kind of learning fantasy, and I'm trying to like get back into it. And so I would say realistically, it's probably like my first like legit year in probably 6 years.
wow.
Yeah, because I played on the ship. So yeah. So it's the first game of the season, and a lot of times, what are people looking for right before the game? Who do we start? Who do we sit? So we wanted to kind of
I
get
guess
our
so.
opinion.
We got 5 good ones here. The 5 good ones on who to start, who to sit. Okay, and we're gonna hold record of this. So you got your book there. Make sure you're
Can I get
keeping record.
Can I get a pen?
Oh yeah, we got thousands of pens here. Of course, there's none next to me.
I didn't think to have one.
So we got a pencil.
That's fine.
All right, first one.
Start
Okay,
sit.
and if you want to chime in, you can.
I'll let my opinions be known when they're needed.
Okay, when they're
Do
needed.
you play
So we're
fantasy?
at-
Not often. I had a couple buddies, especially when I went to OCS. My first roommate was so big into it, he would not shut up about it. He had people writing in picks for him.
Really?
Yeah, in his letters.
So we're actually, here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna do 2 quarterback start or sit. You know, we're gonna pose 2 different quarterbacks. Who you picking?
Okay.
And we're gonna do running backs, and then we're gonna do wide receivers, tight end.
Now I don't
Okay?
I don't have the matchups this week memorized, so you're gonna have
I
to
got
tell. Okay, I was gonna
Got
say you got to tell me who they're playing.
All right. So first one we got here. Who would you start? Would you start Derek Carr against the Chargers or Matthew Stafford against Buffalo?
Sitting in the car.
Car.
I really
think
think I would go
agree.
Derek Carr.
I would go Derek Carr as well.
It's not
So
because
we're
I'm a
all
Raiders
Carr.
fan.
You don't have to go different just to go different.
No,
but-
I know. I'm just trying to think. Like
But the Chargers defense
Bills-
is definitely improved.
the
JC
Chargers
Jackson's
defense is
there.
not bad. Bills defense is good, but like
think-
when you have Allen Robinson and Coop a cup of coffee, but you have to defend, right? Like you're gonna get some stuff through there. And Matthew Stafford is a well-known fantasy football scoring monster. Like,
Yeah, and Derek Carr is not always known for that. He's kind of more of the middle of the road kind of guy.
but he also
yeah, Devontae Adams.
has Devontae Adams now. It's like, yeah, I would still go Carr. I think Carr
Yeah, I think that's a firework kind of game too. I think there's a
Could
lot
be.
of points that could be scored.
could
so,
be because the one tonight could be it could be fun to watch. It might be boring.
Yeah. So write it down. I'll write down Derek Carr.
We're saying in between Stafford
Yeah,
and Carr.
and I'm going Derek Carr. And so are you. We're all going.
Yeah,
Ah.
3 for Carr.
DC.
Okay.
Okay. Next one that comes up. All right. Kyler Murray against Kansas City. Well, that one's not good. That one's not good. Hold on. That one's too easy.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
What you got?
Dak Prescott against Tampa Bay or Kirk Cousins against Green Bay.
Ooh.
Dak Prescott, has CeeDee Lamb. No more Amari Cooper. Michael Gallup, I'm pretty sure is hurt.
He's still out.
I don't know if he's gonna play. Offensive line's looking kind of rough. Kirk Cousins, he's there with
He's got Adam Thielen.
Justin Jefferson.
Got Cook. But you're playing against Green Bay,
Yeah,
right? And Green Bay's defense is not bad, right? Green Bay's defense is not bad, and it is very hard for me. I am sorry for any Cowboy fans out there. It's very, very hard for me to go anywhere for the Cowboys. It's dismal sometimes. Like last year when you're looking at like Prescott and you're looking at Zeke and like you're expecting them to do so much more, and it wasn't there, and they're against Tampa Bay. Because we're talking about who's going to be the better pick for you on your fantasy team. I'll go out on a limb if I'm going to go first here. Oh man, I'd go Dak.
I'm going Dak Prescott too. I know that we're not switching it up, but I'm going Dak Prescott.
Okay, I go Dak.
He is listed as questionable, but they said that he's good to go to play
Right.
for week 1.
He's questionable, but like, what is that? And that could change come Sunday. I think I would
he's
go
good to
Dak.
go.
Well, you have an opinion on that one?
Taking Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Okay, Kirk Cousins. We like that.
All right, going on to running back here. Oh man.
Okay.
Would you go Antonio Gibson against Jacksonville or Travis Etienne against Washington?
You changed it?
Changed it up here.
Oh my gosh.
I'll go with mine first. I'm gonna go Travis Etienne. I know
Travis Etienne.
Yeah, I know that
Who's
they
he
have-
against?
they're playing each other.
Oh.
So Jacksonville's playing Watt. It's the same game matchup.
Yeah.
I would go Etienne. Even though with James Robinson, he's gonna play. I just don't think they like Antonio Gibson. I just don't think Washington likes that team. They just drafted a rookie running back. J.D. McKissick's back. I don't see it.
I just think that I think that Antonio Gibson is a good running back, right? He really is. They have McKissick. Gibson's going out and saying, that he wants to do special teams work. So, I mean, you're going to open it up like, if anything, it's going to be committee running. That might be what happens with ETN and James Robinson. But we don't really know. We don't really know what's going to happen with that. I think that Gibson's going to come out with something to prove, right? So I would say for week 1, I think I would put in Gibson.
Okay.
I would go Gibson.
Okay. I'm going Etienne. So we finally got something different.
I think I'm going to go Etienne too.
There you
I
go.
think he's a dog, and I think
he is. I mean, dog's going to eat.
Dog's got to eat.
All right. Next one that we got here. Oh my God. Maybe not that one.
Okay.
Okay.
You're going to give me David Montgomery, I guarantee it, aren't you? You're going to make me say
Okay.
You're going to make me say
Last one
it.
here. Would you go Chase Edmonds against New England or Cam Akers against Buffalo?
It's easy.
You think it's easy?
Yeah.
All right. Who do you got?
Chase Edmonds. So look, we still don't really know what Cam Akers is going to look like, right? I still think that they're going to. I think Darrell Henderson. They're still going to run out of committee. You're against the Bills. The Bills is a strong. I mean, they are a high ranked. Like people are saying, like, hey, Bills are going to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the best defenses.
New England.
New England still has a great defense.
They're good.
Yeah,
they're good, but Chase Edmonds isn't horrible. I don't think that Cam Akers is going to put up the numbers that you want. And I think you would actually get more out of Chase Edmonds. I would sit Aker and play Edmonds.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm not big on Cam Akers. I think the matchup's tough.
Yeah.
I think Chase Edmonds has a lot more room to work with. There are a lot of running backs there, but I think Chase Edmonds is more versatile than every other running back on the roster.
Yeah.
He can catch the ball. He's just a good running back in general. So I go Chase Edmonds as well.
Sure.
That's a tough one. I could see it going either way, but
it could.
That's what I'm saying. But I think I gotta go with Edmonds.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. That was
Just for the utility.
We had two quarterbacks, 2 running backs. You want to do flex?
We're going wide receiver
Okay,
now.
just a wide receiver.
Wide receiver. We're not going to do flex. We're just doing
Okay.
wide receiver.
You got to do 2 then.
Yep. So here's a good one.
Okay.
Would you go Rashad Bateman against the Jets or Juju Smith-Schuster against Arizona? I'm going to say mine, Rashad Bateman.
Okay, Bateman
Rashad
against
Bateman's
the Jets.
for sure number 1. I mean, they do have that rookie. I think his name's Sauce Gardner or something like that. I think his name
Yeah.
He had a really good preseason. But Rashad Bateman is the only wide receiver really on that team right now.
But does that also make him a target for defense? But you have to be playing it. You have to be playing a team that has some defense, and like Jets is, no offense, Jets, Jets. Sorry guys, but you're not doing so hot, right? Like you're pretty safe to go with somebody there, and Juju is. I don't know.
Juju could be the one.
He could.
He could actually move back into the slot. Like there's a chance for Juju to have a good game, but I'm going Rashad Bateman.
I think Bateman. Like again, that it could be a toss up, but I'm gonna set Juju. I'm gonna play Bateman.
I would have picked anybody, just knowing if it was against the Jets. I know Jets are
Jets
are kind of a dynasty of failure.
Okay.
So
unfortunately, they'll have their glory days.
I love you, Jets. I used to be a fan, but
it's hard.
All right.
It's hard.
And next one here.
Okay.
Would you go Gabriel Davis against the Rams or Adam Thielen against Green Bay?
I swear you're only doing this because that's literally a conundrum that I am having. It's really hard because we were actually kind of talking about both of these matchups, right? You have Kirk Cousins, who is a good quarterback. Thielen is a good receiver, but you're going against Green Bay. Green Bay still has a very decent defense this year, right? Then you have Gabe Davis.
A lot of hype around Gabe Davis.
A lot of hype.
A lot of hype.
Good wide receiver. He's on a team that they're saying is
believe
going
it
to go
too.
to the Super Bowl. But I think the issue you have there is that the Rams have one of the top passing defenses, right? Oh man,
I'm going Gabe Davis. I like the excitement. I like that it's Thursday.
right. We were talking about that, right? You want that person in Thursday.
I think Gabe Davis is, to me, the reason why I go Gabe Davis is there's a lot more high value targets that he could get, like over the top. He's the type of guy that can go out there and get like a 60-yard touchdown.
It's Josh Wilson.
I mean, huh? Josh Allen.
Or I said Josh Wilson earlier too. What am I
Yeah.
thinking? Josh Allen. I'm sorry, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. But
It's Josh
with
Allen.
Thielen,
I mean,
for me, if it just depends on how the game goes. If I don't think Justin Jefferson's getting locked up or anything like that. So
I think if I had to choose between the two, I would go Thielen. If I had to choose, and I think the reason is that although with the Rams and the Bills, you're looking at a game that you could potentially be looking at the Super Bowl, right? First game of the season. I think though with Minnesota and Green Bay, you're looking at a division rivalry too, right?
Yep.
So if you're opening the season with a division rivalry, I think you're gonna be pushing to really prove that. And it could go either way. I think that I would bench Davis and I would play Thielen.
okay, moving on to tight end.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, sorry.
You get a say in this?
My
Here
bad.
he
My
is.
bad. My bad. Go ahead,
What
sir.
would you do?
I am getting on the hype train. I'm going with Davis.
Going with Davis.
I believe it.
Okay.
I want to believe, and I think he's going to show it.
Yeah.
I'm a believer.
I believe.
This one is crazy that
tight end?
that it's got to this point for tight end. Okay, so we got, and on paper you might be like, oh, there's no way this is an easy pick, but you really got to think about it here. All right,
Okay.
George Kittle going up against Chicago, or Dalton Schultz going up against Tampa Bay. Right now, they're predicting George Kittle as the number 6 tight end this week. Dalton Schultz at number 5.
So
you go first. Who would you pick?
So on paper, like you said, this looks easy. All right, I'm a Chicago Bears fan, and I hate to say it, and my dad is arguing with me that he thinks that you wait and see this. Our
Blind confidence.
Our offensive line is very young. I'm very worried. Justin Fields finally has a coaching staff that might let him use his legs. He only really has one receiver to go to. You have Dave Montgomery, but how is he really going to be able to perform with this young line, right? So it'd be easy to say Kittle. But we're talking about points for fantasy, not the team that's going to win. The Bears' defense is still fairly decent, all right? It's not horrible. Schultz they're playing Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay doesn't have a horrible defense either. It's very easy to say Kittle, I think. I think that's what people would want to. And I hate to say it because it's going against my team. I think thinking about it, I think I probably would go George Kittle. I think I would. Okay. I think I would sit Schultz.
I'm going Schultz.
Okay.
I don't know what Trey Lance is. I don't know what that team is, but I know Dalton Schultz gets a lot of targets, and with an offensive line that's kind of hurting, there's going to be a lot of checkdowns, and I think Dalton Schultz might eat up some of these targets here.
He's also, but he's also young, like Lance. So.
Yeah, but Dalton Schultz was pretty good last year, so I'm going Dalton Schultz. I think Dalton Schultz I think he's gonna be a top 3 tight end this year. That's how high I am on Dalton Schultz. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm going to go that far, but I have seen Dalton Schultz play, and I like the repertoire, so I'd go with Dalton Schultz too.
Okay.
Top 3 might be a stretch for me though.
You got one more for tight end. There's not as many tight ends, so it's kind of just do one more. Last one.
Okay. 1 second. We're gonna go with this one right here.
Okay.
Well, that one's kind of easy. We'll find a good one. We'll find a good one. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, this one's close.
Okay.
All right, would you go, all right, Cole Kmet against San Francisco or Dawson Knox against the Rams? Cole Kmet right now predicted to be number 12, Dawson Knox at 11.
So, and Cole Kmet, for those of you who don't know, is
That's a big Cole Kmet believer.
I am a big Cole Kmet. I loved him at Notre Dame. I love that we picked him up. He didn't get any touchdowns last year. He got targets, and you know we have a weak line, right, in Chicago, and I think it's going to depend, right. I think either Fields is going to use his legs a lot, or he's going to have to dump pass a lot. I think he's going to have to get rid of the ball. I think Cole Kmet this week, especially, stands to really have an opportunity to shine. Okay, Knox. Who are they playing?
The Rams.
Right? I'm just making that point again. It's like you were saying, it could be a real barn burner.
Yeah.
When we were talking about it, it could be a real barn burner. It could be a really fun game to watch. It might be a really boring game. And it's hard because I am a Cole Kmet believer. So I'm going to go with Cole Kmet because I don't see Knox getting utilized in that game. I don't see him getting utilized as much. I think that Knox has a high upside. I think that he's going to be a very good tight end. I think he's undervalued, but man, I got Cole Kmet real late, so I think he's super undervalued for what the team is this year, and I'm going to go with Cole Kmet.
I'm going to go with Dawson Knox.
All right.
I think there's a lot of emphasis on the secondary. I think wide receivers will have a tough time getting free. I think you're going to see a lot of Cole Kmet. I mean, not Cole Kmet, Dawson Knox kind of, linebackers.
Just stand, hey, over here.
Yeah, linebackers for the Rams. Linebackers for the Rams, not the greatest. And I think Dawson Knox could see some pretty decent targets against the Rams. So I'll go Dawson Knox. Plus, I love the hair.
Okay. All right. Fair. What do you think, sir?
The hair is also a big point, but I believe in Knox. I think he's got it. It's a tall order to go against the Rams, but
You're going to go with Knox?
I'm going to go with Knox.
All right.
It's like I said, I think they're going to find him.
I think you backed me into a corner by using Cole Kmet against me. I think that's what you're doing.
Well,
here.
this one, it was really close.
It is close. It's close. I mean, that's close. So just to go over really, really quickly, two quarterbacks, Stafford versus Carr. All three of us went Derek Carr.
DC.
Dak Prescott versus Cousins. Who do you set? Myself and Petty Officer Levesque went with Dak Prescott, and you went with Kirk Cousins. And then running backs, Antonio Gibson and Travis Etienne. I went with Gibson for this week, and you both went with Etienne. And then we also said Chase Edmonds and Cam Akers. All of us went Edmonds over Akers. All right. And then wide receivers, Bateman or Juju. Everybody went Bateman. And then Gabe Davis or Adam Thielen. I went Adam Thielen. You guys went Gabe Davis. Tight ends, George Kittle or Schultz. I went Kittle. You guys went Schultz. And then Cole Kmet or Dawson Knox. I went Cole Kmet. You guys went Dawson Knox. So next week, we'll discuss how horrible our picks were. Obviously, you won't be with us, sir, but you can tune in.
I'll be watching.
You can let the. Oh no, you won't be leaving. You'll still be here. So, most definitely tune in for that. On our bonus content, we'll kind of go over that. You see a lot of some fantasy football stuff, I think, from us. There you go.
Whoa!
Oh no! So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Right?
How do I? There we go.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm back. Whoa! Let go.
Let go of it. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And like always, find it, like it, share it, follow it, share this feed. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for those who are active in the chat. And we'll answer your questions and see you next week.
Peace.